There are quite a number of people who are wondering what are the differences between the top three global strategy consulting firms, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group, and Bain Company. So, what are the main points of difference between these firms? For sure, there is no one best firm, of course, but there are indeed certain differences between the three. So I started my consulting career at BCG in Germany, and I later switched to McKinsey to do work in several emerging markets before then transferring back to Germany within McKinsey. Thereby, I have witnessed quite a couple of structural differences between the MBBs. I would like to categorize these differences into 7 dimensions. The reputation and perceived thought leadership, the alumni network, the people, the client mix, the projects, the approach to clients and problems, and the general way of working and resources. So, starting with reputation and perceived thought leadership. If we talk about this, McKinsey is still the gold standard in terms of recognition across pretty much all industries, from tech to large established corporates. Yes, on some specific areas, other firms might have developed a stronger expertise. For example, Parthenon is probably the leading firm for education. But most executives, by and large, are recognizing that hiring McKinsey is the safest bet to ensure consistent, high-quality work. The level of knowledge created by McKinsey is granting it top pages in leading newspapers across the globe, with a coverage that is still not really matched by BCG or Bain. I mean, BCG, yes, they have been pretty successful to go in the same direction and establishing reputation as a knowledge-based company, but they are not quite there yet. Bain, on the other hand, have been focusing less on knowledge leadership, and instead they're cultivating a reputation focused on their ability to make things happen by adopting a cooperative approach. The second important point of differentiation is the alumni network. I mean, consulting is usually regarded as a springboard to a brilliant career. So this is why the alumni network that you'll find when you're leaving should be considered among the key decision criteria. McKinsey has the longest history and the largest workforce, and therefore they also have the largest alumni network. Moreover, there is a strong cohesion and a sense of belonging which is fostered while working at McKinsey and which also prevails after leaving. You will be really surprised that even people who were counseled to leave by McKinsey, so they were basically advised to find another job elsewhere, even those people turned themselves into key McKinsey clients after leaving. So the alumni networks are a little bit weaker in BCG and substantially weaker in Bain, due just to the lack of critical mass and also a weaker sense of belonging after leaving. However, I must say, BCG has become increasingly active in engaging its alumni network over recent years. And my subjective impression as an alum of both McKinsey and BCG is that BCG have indeed managed to close most of the gap to McKinsey in that respect. Number 3 is people. All MBB firms are absolutely obsessed about hiring the best and the brightest. The smartness of colleagues in all 3 MBBs is absolutely amazing in my opinion. So I would say that the main difference in the hiring criteria between, for example, McKinsey and BCG is in consistency and ease of being shaped according to standards. While BCG is mostly focused on hiring bright people, McKinsey values a lot the alignment in terms of mindset and the ease of quote unquote, formatting the candidate according to the McKinsey standard. This includes speaking using a top-down approach, keeping a, yes, friendly but assertive approach, and most of all, being open to feedback. McKinsey puts a lot of emphasis on these characteristics, and McKinsey regards them as a key decision factor in the selection process. The next dimension of differentiation is the client mix. This varies to a large extent by office and by country, of course. But as a general trend, Bain has a higher mix of private equity clients, while McKinsey is still the leading consultancy for healthcare and governments, especially in developing countries. Number 5 is the type of projects. It has often been said that BCG focuses more on pure strategic problems, right? And McKinsey is more working on organizational projects. This is no longer the case. All 3 MBB firms have been trying to move downstream in order to provide end-to-end solutions to their clients, going from devising strategies to testing and also implementing them. Moreover, they are all massively investing to ride the wave of digitalization that is still just building up. Number 6, I would like to split it. Approach to clients and then also approach to problems. So when it comes to the MBB's approach to clients, McKinsey tends to have a more top-down approach, and usually they take pride in challenging and even often contradicting their clients. They do cooperate with clients, yes, but they tend to be quite assertive in pushing forward their solution. BCG is slightly more cooperative, I would say, putting a special emphasis on delighting clients. This is how they call it. So BCG consultants often spend a bit more time in order to build consensus in the organization by engaging also the middle management, instead of just obsessing over analysis, which is more the McKinsey way, quote unquote. The second is the approach to problems. So regarding approach to problems, all MBB firms leverage a lot of past work to provide answers, including tested off-the-shelf elements. Yes. However, BCG has cultivated a reputation for looking at each problem with a fresh perspective and building innovative solutions. So this is where they take enormous pride in. Now, the last general point is the way of working and the resources. So, and this is a point that is often neglected in my opinion. How does everyday work differ across the 3 MBBs? And how will it change across the firms? While there are many similarities, of course, there are also 2 key differences, I believe. The first one is staffing. So here, McKinsey is more global in terms of staffing, meaning that you are more likely to end up staffed in another country or another geography, for example. Also, the project teams at McKinsey are more internationally mixed, I would say. So you might find team members from completely different parts of the world staffed on a project in South Africa, for example. At BCG, it would be a bit more homogeneous, I would say. For example, the partner who covers a client will staff most of his team from either his home office or from the client's geography, or a mixture between the two. But there's less of a large mixture of people from all parts of the world who will, then meet on a specific team. Now, the second point here is the support resources. McKinsey wants its consultants, including business analysts, to focus solely on value-added activities. So to ensure this, McKinsey has developed large sub-organizations. You can really call them sub-organizations, which are aimed at supporting the consultants. So this includes visual graphic centers to ensure that consultants can save time by just sketching PowerPoint slides and have them quickly produced by the visual graphic teams. It includes research centers for performing desktop research for consultants on certain specific topics. It includes survey desks in India and Costa Rica to set up web-based surveys for clients, right? And it also includes analytical centers to help consultants in complex Excel macros, for example, right? So while Bain and BCG have both also developed similar support resources, they still do not have the same scale like McKinsey in this domain.